Well, I thought I'd cracked it last night. Failed again. I noticed that even though I'd set it... Where are we? Come on. Even though I'd set it to be at 75 on the bed, when I looked at it, it was actually showing 65. So I manually reset it to 75. But as we can see, it's still slipped. So that wasn't the fix. I'm either going to have to put a raft under it, because it was working with a raft at one time. No, it wasn't. No, it was failing with a raft before. I don't know. I will try a raft again, because I've changed other settings. I have mentioned in quite a few of my recent videos that I've bought some dark purple PLA Plus in a charity shop. Unusual to see it in a charity shop, but it was there. I bought it, paid £15, which is not particularly cheap, but it's also not very expensive for PLA. I tend to buy it a little bit cheaper. Anyway, I saw it, I bought it, and I regretted it because nearly everything I've printed with it has gone wrong. Even these that look okay have gone soft around the edges. I did find there was a problem with the settings. When I set the settings on the slicer, on the program that creates the files, I set it to be 75 degrees bed temperature. And when I actually looked at it on the printer, it was telling me it was only set to 65 degrees. Now I went and rechecked it, did it again, and it still said 65 degrees. So there's an issue there. I can manually, once it started printing, reset it to 75, which I did for this one. And it printed that far, and then it broke loose from the bed, which is why we've got all this. I am printing it again at the moment, but this time I've put a raft underneath, which is supposed to give it extra grip. That's up to 85%. I've just been and checked, and so far it's okay. But what I thought I'd do with this is see if I can actually get this infill out. That's supposed to be hollow. And this is a threaded section, because it's supposed to go on top of cola bottles, pop bottles. So I'm going to see if I can actually get it out without stabbing myself and actually get to the thread and see if it's any good. Might as well do it on this, which is going in the bin, than on the new one when it's finished printing. That actually looks like that's coming out. Right, so we got the thread there. That actually looks okay. I wonder if I've got a bottle I can actually put on it and test. It should fit, because I used the same design as I used on this one to make the thread. So it should go in. Doesn't want to. Why doesn't it want to? I'm just not doing it straight, that's all. I think. It's not going in. Why is that not going in? I know why it's not going in. Oh, I don't believe that. Oh, that's really, 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 really annoying. I've reversed the thread. Can you believe that? I have reversed the thread in the design. I've obviously flipped it over when I've done something, and that's a left-handed thread for a right-handed bottle. Oh, how stupid. And I'm printing another one of these at the moment, which is going to be the same. Nice mess up, Grandad. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh well. Looks like we're going to be printing it again. That was a handy little project. That's a tyre valve. So you pump air in there, put a little bit of water in there, pump air in there, and then pull that out, and that allows the compressed air to push the water out in a jet. It does actually work as compressed air as well, but you get a bit more power out of it if you've got water in there. I've gone and cancelled the print. You can see we were so close, we were nearly finished. We were over 80%, but there was no point in going any further because the threads on that end are the wrong way round. This end is the right way. I know exactly what I did wrong because I actually designed one half of it and then just flipped it over in editing, and flipping it over in editing reversed the thread. So I've had to flip it and flip it horizontally and vertically to get the thread the right way round on the one that's now printing. So that is frustrating because that would have done the job. Except that if we look at this side, that thread's going to be the wrong way round. If we can get it out. Yeah, that thread is going that way round, counterclockwise. I don't know if we can see that. You can see the top thread there going that way, which is the wrong way round. As we look at that one, the thread's going the other way round. Nice one, Grandad. I thought I was being clever, just flipping it over, but I was wrong. Not happy with this edge. That doesn't look good at all. It wouldn't actually matter. It will not stop it working. But that's not neat at all. So yeah, so close and yet so far. That'll be another 9 hours printing. It's 5 o'clock now, so 9 plus 5, 14, 2 o'clock in the morning that'll be finished. And that'll be the third attempt. So that was about 8 hours. That's been about 8 hours. And all we're doing is printing a simple little thing that's going to join together 4 pop bottles. That's a boat. So you've got one sticking out, well, 2 sticking out there, 2 sticking out there. So we've got 4 pop bottles and then a hole up the middle there to stick a mast on it. So it'll be a sailing boat. Frustrating. Looking at the issues I'm having with this purple PLA Plus from Sunlu that I picked up in a charity shop, I don't think it's all down to the filament itself. I'm using Ultimaker Cura version 5 beta 1 because I am, and if I just shut that down, I've set the build plate temperature to 75 here, Now, you can't see that. Well, I could zoom in, I suppose. Yeah, there we are. It's set to 75. Now, if I create a file with that and save it to disk, alright, I'll just save it there. So that's the G code saved. If I now open that up, if I use Notepad to read it, so I could do this with screen capture, but I'm doing it live so you can see I'm not moving anything around. So go over there. Right, now I don't know my way around G code, but I can see if I scroll down through here, where are we? Oh, up here. Right. I don't know if we can see that. I'll move my mouse around on it. I know I set the nozzle temperature to 225. So we got 225 there and 225 there. And I set the print bed to 75, and yet that is saying 65 there. So whether it's automatically saying no, you can't have 75 because you're using PLA or something and not PLA plus, because I haven't reset the filament type on the Ultimaker Cura. But I think that's what my problem is. I'm thinking I've set it to 75 and yet the G code is saying 65. If we scroll right down to the very bottom, here, just position the camera again. Zoom in a little bit more. Can we focus on that? Yeah, that's about as good as we can get. Right, that does say, where are we? Bed temperature 75. And yet my screen is telling me 65 when I actually look at the screen, the little screen on the printer. So somewhere along there, something's not telling the truth. Now I've just manually modified this G code and changed it to 75 there and 75 there. Oh, sorry, we weren't looking in the right place. Right, yeah, I've been in and manually modified this to 75 and 75 simply by typing 75 over it. Yeah, so that says 75. That says 75. So that's what I did. Resaved it as a G code file, which is not as simple as it sounds because Notepad automatically saves it as a text file. But I've saved it as a G code file, loaded it into my printer, and it is now telling me that it's got the bed set to 75. And it's printing at the moment. So we will see in another 9 hours time whether it prints all the way through or whether I've messed something up by editing the G code file. A little bit more to add on the end of the video now. After filming that last bit, I did some more investigation and found there was a setting that wasn't visible on the screen there. It only shows you the ones that it thinks you need to know. Now, I changed the build plate temperature to 75, and as I showed you in the G code, it was still showing us 65. Well, the setting that was missing was build plate temperature initial layer. And when I brought that one up on the screen, that was still showing at 65. So it looks like when it generated the G code, it was using the initial layer temperature, not the main temperature, if that makes any sense. So by adding the build plate temperature initial layer option to the screen and setting that to 75, now when I look at the G code, it all comes out at 75, which is what I wanted. Whether that's a problem with the way the G code is being produced by this version of Ultimaker Cura, I don't know, but now that I'm showing initial layer, it's right. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.